Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Madalena, or Mad because that's easier to pronounce. And in today's video we're gonna talk about Vinted shipping labels, and specifically how to get those, because in my last video I talked a bit about this, but I realized it wasn't like in so much detail, so I decided to make another one and tell you guys exactly how to get the labels and from where to get the labels and how do they look like and stuff like that. And I will link the other video in the description. If you're interested, go and check that one out first and then come back and check this one. You probably know already how to post an item on Vinted, but your fear, or my fear specifically, it was how to get the shipping label. You sell an item and then you need the label to send it. Personally, I was so freaking stressed in the beginning when someone bought my first item because I didn't know how to send it and I didn't know where to get the label from. First, I will show you how to choose the shipping options that you have and what shipping options you have, because this is really important. This is the main difference to see if you have already like a pre-made label or not. First, you need to open your Vinted application, obviously, and go to the bottom corner down and you find your profile. Click on your profile, scroll down to your settings and check the postage tab. Here you'll find your address and the delivery options. I live in Belgium, so here are my options: DHL and Mondial Relay. Well, here you can choose if you want to use all the options that you have or not. And remember that these are different for every country. So for me it's DHL and Mondial Relay, but if you're in UK probably it's other ones. Now go back to your profile and click on Help Center, Selling and Postage. The cost of postage is always paid by the buyer, and you always have to ship the item with the shipping method that the customer paid for. And you have 5 working days to ship the item, starting with the day that the buyer paid for the item. Really important, so you really have to pay attention to this. It's the weight of the package. You have to set the exact weight of the item, and it helps if you have a kitchen scale, because then you can actually weight the item and see how many grams it has. Because if you send an item and you set, let's say for example a t-shirt, it's not more than 500 grams. So if you set it as a medium package, which is between 500 grams and 1 kilogram, then your buyer will pay more for the shipping than he or she should be. So probably the buyer will be a bit angry and maybe they will cancel your order. Or the other way around, if your item is medium, like over 500 grams, and then you choose the small package which is under 500 grams, then you will pay for the extra shipping cost. If the shipping cost is, let's say, €2, and you go with your package to the post office or whatever you drop this package, and they notice that it's heavier than you say, then you have to pay an extra cost. No one is gonna give you that money back. So you will actually lose money instead of making money. If you are in Help Center, Selling, Postage, How to ship an item, go down to step 3 and here you can find all the options for shipping. Here we have 2 types. First one, if your buyer is choosing this shipping options, because there are too many, I'm not gonna tell them. For this, you'll receive a prepaid shipping label in the conversation with the buyer. Like when someone buys something, it opens a conversation and you can see there the buyer paid for the shipping label, and you can download it. Press download and it will go straight to your email, and then from there you can print it. This is important, you need to print it because it has a scanning code. And then you just have to stick it on the package and drop it off where you have to drop it off. This is the easy part.
I have here an example for you. This is a label that I get from Mondial Relay where the buyer already pays for the shipping. I changed all the names and the streets and numbers and everything just to be sure that no information is gonna be out there on the internet. So this is how it looks like. It's split in two parts. The upper part where you have all this information about you and your buyer, and the bottom part, this one is only for the buyer. Usually you have to cut this part where the dotted line is and put it in the package, but I just fold it on the other side and put it like that. Because I live in Belgium, everything is in French, which makes no sense because I live in the Dutch part, the Flemish part of the country. But anyway, now I'm gonna tell you about this shipping label because it's in French. Maybe not everyone knows French. So here on the left corner you will find your name and your address. Then on the right side, as you can see, it's the buyer's name and address. Here you can see that it's already paid, so you don't have to pay anything. This is the scanning code, the barcode, however you want to call it. It's important to not cover it with duct tape or anything just because they need to scan this. And then you have some other details here. For example, the date you send it, how many kilograms the package has, some shipping numbers, and then this part here, the bottom part, that, like I said, you can put it inside the package or just fold the paper into. Here is gonna be the buyer's name and address.
The second type is what I think it scares a lot of people because you don't get the pre-made shipping label and you have to make one. If your buyer chooses these options, then you have to make your own label and pay the shipping cost with your own money. And after the buyer receives the item, then you will receive the shipping money back. To make this label, it's really simple actually. You can just write the name and the address on a computer and print it. That's it. Or if you don't have a computer or a printer, you can just write it by hand.
Here is an example of how to write your own shipping label. This is really easy to do. You have the name and the address of the buyer and you just write it down. You can do this on a computer or you can just write it by hand. The post or where you drop this package, they're gonna receive it and it's gonna be fine. Just write in a way that anyone can understand it.
And again, tape it on the package, bring it to the post office or the drop-off point and you're done. But as I said, you have to pay for the shipping first, and then when the buyer receives the item and it says it's okay, then you will receive the money for the postage and for the item. I hope I explained this in a way that you understand this and will help you. If you have more questions, just leave them in the comment section down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Usually it's really fast because I have nothing to do. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!